Good evening. We, the unwilling, led by the unknowing, are doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We have done so much for so long with so little. We are now qualified to do anything with nothing. And with that in mind, here's laughing.
Wait a minute, hold it. Isn't this the show where people used to get pies thrown in their face? That's right, it was water. How silly. You see that? Water, not
Hey, Jim, I know you've competed in a number of Mexican road races. Ever have an accident?
Yeah, I rolled over in Baja 3 times.
I know it happened to me in Cleveland.
Yeah, what kind of car?
Car?
5 years ago, women read Any Woman Can. Now they're finding out they don't have to.
Francis Albert, you dear boy. I was so excited about meeting you tonight, I got dressed to the teeth.
Teeth, hell, all I can see are gums.
Oh, Blue Eyes, I just knew I was your type.
All right, America, here comes Laugh-In. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
To go with tonight's guest stars. First, Margot Hemingway singing I Got Plenty of Nothing. Next, Lee Majors sings I Found My $1 Million Baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. And last but not least, Anita Bryant sings A Good Man Is Hard to Find. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
Who asked you?
Okay then, fun fans, we can dig it, and let's do it with Cindy Williams.
Howdy. Are you Miss Cindy Williams?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Miss Williams. Oh, she touches it like she knows me. Sell my clothes, I'm going to heaven.
These people are nuts.
And our regular collection of loonies.
Nancy Blywise.
Ed Bluestone.
Kim Braden. Claire Falconbridge. June Gable.
I'm Jim Giovanni. Ben Powers.
Bill Rafferty.
Lenny Schultz. Michael Sklar.
Toad.
Robin Williams.
Wayland Flowers and Madam!
And Sergio Aragonés.
When you combine the music of Tchaikovsky with the physique of Roger Callard, what you get is a symphony with a 28-inch neck. Mr. Sinatra, is it true that when you were a kid and you used to sing All of Me, all the girls would actually faint from excitement?
Frank Sinatra? I'm fainting.
Times have changed.
The world was recently saddened by the passing of Groucho Marx. Groucho, the famed comedian who always loved to have the last laugh. Groucho left only a small inheritance to Aaron Fleming, his final companion, who was said to have exploited and abused him. Evidently, the beloved comedian was able to do to Miss Fleming after death what he had been unable to do while still alive.
Mr. Garner, I see you're wearing an Oakland Raiders button. Well, what makes them so great?
They're tough.
Well, how tough are they?
They are so tough that they drink their Gatorade from real gators.
Well, squeal!
Robin Williams can be yours for a mere $1.99.
Go crazy, Lenny. Go crazy.
Get on your mark. Get set. Go.
We mean it
make everybody cheer.
And there's 2 wacky robots hits this year.
All it takes is the mind of a child we fear.
It's a wacky, wah wah world.
Do, wacky, do?
What do you mean, wacky? Oh, wacky.
That is not wacky.
Estoy mojadas en los huevos.
Hey, man, did you feel a tremor?
I am the bishop of this church. I only earn $1,200 a month, and I've got to earn more.
I am the pastor of this church. I only earn $900 a month, and I've got to earn more.
I am the organist of this church, and I earn $2,000 a month. And there's no business like show. Business like no business I know.
But seriously, folks, what I'd like...
Frankie, don't you remember me? I saw you at the Paramount. I was the one in the front row. I said, Frankie! You did it to me again, Frankie.
My God. Doctor! Help!
You know, Lieutenant Columbo, one thing I've always wondered, did you actually buy that raincoat, or did you roll a flasher?
That TV commercial that only shows women squeezing that bathroom tissue? They're either trying to tell us that women are weird or that men don't use it.
Tall and tan and young and handsome, the boy from Ipanema goes walking, and when he passes, each girl he passes goes, "Hey, sweetheart, come on here!" What the hell? Madam, aren't you ashamed? Well, I thought I knew the kid. Jeez, Wayland, you won't let me have any fun.
I'll tell you why the world is wacky. Some of the judges are crazier than their customers.
Hey, Toad, did you know that a California judge ruled that the way a woman dresses can provoke rape?
Does that mean that the way you write can provoke forgery?
I don't know, but I'm getting rid of my possessions. I don't want to provoke a theft.
Well, I guess I'll have to break off my engagement.
Why?
Well, if I get married, I might have a son.
So what? I thought you wanted a family.
Yeah.
Well, I do, but I don't want to provoke incest.
Let's hear it for Judge Simonson. Rah!
You Italians have quite a heritage, you know. Have you ever had your roots traced?
My roots? Oh, many times. By the CIA in 1947, the FBI in 1953, the Senate Investigation Committee in 1961, and the Inquiry in 1972.
Oh, you're Italian, all right.
You betcha. Some Italian.
It's a wacky world. Oh, you say a wacky world. Confusing. Now we gave the canal back to Panama, and your mom has decided to burn her bra. And the call from Gable was about your pa. It's a do-wacky, wah-wah world.
Yeah, give me some kisses, David.
Uh-huh, baby, all over your head.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's Laugh-In's own resident rascal, Mr. Ed Bluestone.
I have a letter today which says, "Dear Dr. Bluestone, I understand that you're the founder of chiropractic criminology. What is this new science?" I'm glad you asked that. Chiropractic criminology is the science of rehabilitating criminals by damaging their backs.
That's not wacky. Now that's wacky.
Go crazy, Lenny. Go, 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 go.
Go crazy, Lenny. It's like telling Don Ho to go Hawaii.
Think I'm wacky now? When I was a kid, I used to run amok. But I'll tell you one thing. I ran a good muck.
See what happens when cousins marry?
Please send your dollars and dimes to Lenny's Lobotomy, NBC, Burbank, California. Come along, boy.
Really? Well, here's the way I look at it.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings, trying to forget my feelings of love.
Don't worry, folks. God isn't dead. He's busy on another network.
Teardrops rolling down my face, trying to forget my feelings of love.
Hey, lady, your sign fell down.
Feelings, wow, again in my heart.
These people are nuts.
Where are you from, little fella?
Oklahoma?
What are the first 3 words you learned in Oklahoma?
Well, there was Mommy, Daddy, and Bakersfield.
I got a town, Chicago in, where the wind and the moon come down, we saw. Tell me what you think.
John Dean sings better than you.
And now for a look at the wacky world of Washington's social life, or what we would call the steno pool.
Rats, a mistake. I better use that new correction fluid the boss gave me. Shake vigorously. Remove cap. Dab on mistake. Replace cap tightly. Type over. O-V-E-R. There.
Are you sure you didn't feel a tremor?
One thing that is big today in our wacky world is mysticism. You know, ghosts, goblins, spooks.
You mean ghosts, goblins, and persons of supernatural persuasion, don't you, baby?
Do I, Jiffy?
I think maybe you do.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
people from England don't know much, do you?
Not too much, Jiffy.
Then shut your mouth.
I'd like a reading, please.
You come from a large family.
No, I come from a small family.
You have a younger brother.
Well, actually, I have an older sister.
Your father's name is Hoib.
Fred.
And you're having trouble with your husband.
I'm single.
My advice to you is to exercise great caution today. You might get hit by a moving vehicle.
Brother.
So why don't they listen to me?
Go tell Aunt Rhody. Go tell Aunt Rhody. Go tell Aunt Rhody. The old gray goose is dead. Don't you love it? I made this out of it.
Mr. Sinatra, you keep on top of politics. Do you think Ronald Reagan is still dying to be president?
Only his hairdresser knows for sure.
When will Jerry Brown get hitched? The world's accepting wagers.
Let's all cheer the brilliant wit of Farrah Fawcett Majors.
Wacky world, terrific but a tacky world. Specific.
When a Jackie Onassis can still make news.
When a drought in the West causes dreadful blues.
Now Nureyev is paying his acting dues.
It's a do-wacky world. Do-wacky, tacky, do-wacky, wow, wow, wow.
Do wacky do?
That's right, do wacky do.
Do-wacky, wow, wow, wow.
I can dig it.
Who asked you?
Everybody needs a place to laugh in. Everybody needs a time to grin and a giggle.
Oh, so you're Rodney Allen Rippey?
And you're Bill Cosby.
No.
Harry Belafonte? Silly Portier?
No.
Are you in sports?
No, I'm Ben Powers.
Big deal.
Hola, Franquisquito, qué hombre más grande. Ay, Dios mío, ¿qué es eso? Listen, Frankie, I want to tell you something, and I mean this. My name is Esmeralda Conchato, Juanita Colota, Estuditica, Bonita, Perito y Perito. And mira, I would throw over Trini Lopez into la basura for you.
Trini Lopez?
Trini Lopez into la basura. Look, I'm on my rodillas for you.
Jim, you're a great Oakland Raider fan. And I hear Kenny Stabler is fast on his feet, cool in the clutch, and almost always scores.
Yeah, and he's not a bad quarterback either.
Oh, Cindy, I love your show, Laverne and Shirley. Tell me, which one are you, Patty, Maxine, or Laverne?
I'm the shorter one.
Oh, Starsky.
Have you noticed the more President Carter talks, the better Billy sounds?
President Carter today announced the three major policy positions of his presidency. Maybe, perhaps, and I'll ask Billy.
I don't want to say he's slow. Last week, Billy Carter stopped at a stop sign, and 3 days later, he was still there waiting for it to change. Now, that's slow.
Jimmy Carter is our 37th president. 38th if you count Jerry.
Let's face it, Billy Carter is the Jimmy Carter, what Lou Costello was to Bud Abbott.
I can dig it.
Do not touch your dial. There is nothing wrong with your set. NBC just didn't like what we wanted to put here.
A lot of politicians get involved with dirty tricks because good, clean secretaries are hard to find.
When it comes to helping pass the ERA, a lot of congressmen are giving women a hand, one finger at a time.
We are known as private secretaries, and we're just as busy as can be.
We type 7 words a month and take shorthand beautifully.
But we're always in demand.
Down in Washington, D.C. Hit it, girls!
This is the Laughing News.
P-I-Z-Z-E-R-A.
Laughing News. Razzmatazz.
R-A-Z-S-T-I, forget it.
Laughing News. When nothing happens,
we check it out, try to hunt and peck it out. News today is flashy, trashy, and showbiz.
La-da-dee-da.
Here's the hype, tons of tripe.
Laughing brings you some typey. This is the Laughing
Meet you at the water cooler, 8:30. Woo! Okay, play it!
If you see David Frost, you might mention that I once handed in someone else's homework in the 4th grade, and I'm ready to talk about it.
You know that you're not a kid anymore when you don't care what Barry Goldwater has to say.
I can dig it.
And here is tonight's guest news buff, Shirley of Laverne and Cindy Williams.
Africa. An historic meeting took place this week between the only two African leaders who share the same views on democracy, Ian Smith and Idi Amin. They both pledged to restore happiness to the troubled continent when their minstrel show opens next week in Johannesburg. Idi says he's looking forward to meeting the South Africans because he's heard they're delicious. Militant elements of the Grey Panthers struck again today when they picketed anti-prune juice crusader Anita Bryant. Miss Bryant claims that orange juice is the only way to go.
And now tonight's guest newscaster, Frank Sinatra.
Dateline 1994. Israeli troops moved in today to protect newly won territory on the West Bank of the Rhine. There was another miracle in the world of science this week, ladies and gentlemen, when Margot Hemingway moved her lips. In the continuing feud between Rona Barrett and her Laugh-In look-alike, a recent poll has revealed that some people think Laugh-In's Rona Barrett is not as phony as the original.
News of the future, 1997. Mexico's car of the future, which runs on a mixture of chili and hot tamale sauce, was shelved today when it was found that the emission standards were not just low, they're downright bad manners.
Did you see where President Jerry Ford beamed a bystander on the golf course?
Well, it's nothing new. He's done it before.
Yeah, this time he was putting.
Here we are at the United Nations General Assembly for a speech by Ambassador Andrew Young. Go get it, baby.
My fellow Americans, I'd like to say that we've come quite a ways as black Americans, from slaves to indentured slaves to free men. And roots being indicative of the times and abolitionists and integrationists of the North making the moves necessary for a free America, I'd like to ask your indulgence while I regress just for a few moments.
And now, Laugh-In News takes you to Washington for a look at lobbying in Congress. Senator Jerko here just cast the only vote in favor of continued CIA funding for drug experiments on unsuspecting members of the American public. Sir, did anyone influence your vote?
No. I follow the dictates of my own mind.
You follow the dictates of your own mind?
Yeah. There goes one now.
And now, to help you news buffs understand the news, here is a Laugh-In definition. A senator. A senator is someone who can talk for an hour without saying anything, serve 6 years without knowing anything, and get reelected without doing anything.
Once again, Dr. Christian Barnard has transplanted the heart of an ape into a man. The recipient was the former president of Uganda, Idi Amin Dada. The operation is thought to be successful, but this cannot be confirmed until the patient comes down from the banana tree. Ngawa, Ngawa.
With the competition becoming more and more intense between the network news gathering services, Laugh-In News looks into the future to what may shortly become a news feature on one of the networks. Here is Terrorist of the Week.
That's right, pigs. We want $50,000 in a getaway car for the Johnsons here. Get it?
Okay. Put down your guns and one of our men will bring you the money.
Hey, baby, hey.
Ha! Over there. All right, Chief. I've been waiting 5 years for this. I want $100,000 in a getaway car, or that's it for the Johnsons and everyone else here. And make that car a Ferrari.
Okay, put down your gun. The police jeep is coming in with your money.
Solid. Come on. Solid, out of sight.
I've been waiting 20 years for this. I want $500,000 in a Learjet. And have the governor bring the money himself. And hurry. Do you care what happens to the Johnsons?
The governor is here with your money. Put down your gun and he'll bring it in.
All right, I'm in charge here now. This is the governor. I want a 747 and $1 million. And I want an appointment to the Supreme Court. And I want the president to deliver the money. Remember, the Johnsons are still in here.
The president is here and he has your money. Put down your gun and he'll bring it in.
Fabulous!
This is Mrs. Johnson. We got everybody in hostage now.
We demand a raise in our Social Security check. We just can't live on $65 a month.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's out of the question.
And now, here's Hollywood's dancer to Barbara Walters, our own Miss Grown-Up. She is so dull.
Good morning, America. Time to put a little fun in your life with your very own Ms. Grown-Up. As a New Year's resolution, I promise to personally see some of the things that I review. Those good fruits.
That's the hype. Times are tripe. Laughing brought you some typey, typey, type. This was the Laughing News. We are secretaries who are good at lunch. Woo!
I'm so thrilled I can hardly wait for the airing of your new film on NBC on
November 19th.
Calm down, madam. Why are you thrilled?
Well, just think, the great Sinatra starring in a picture about my maiden days. Contact on Cherry Street.
Madam. Madam, you have the wrong title. It's called Contract on Cherry Street.
Contract? We did everything on a handshake, sweetheart.
Some car manufacturers are now putting sharp hood ornaments on cars. Another humane effort to protect cars from pedestrians.
And now for some oldies but goodies.
Now, an oldie but a goodie. You want to see our rubber duck?
I've seen it.
You're right, no big deal.
These are some laughs from the past. These are the jokes made up on cheer.
Like ringy dingy.
That's the truth.
Blow in my ear.
These are the tags and the rim shots. Somehow we all understood.
Not a play by Mr. Ibsen, just a poem by Henry Gibson.
This is the oldies but goodies section. These are the oldies but good.
When I was a kid in the 50s, I could never figure out which one was the dummy, Charlie McCarthy or Joe McCarthy.
Jim, what time is it?
Bill, did you hear about Fred? He killed his wife with a golf club.
No kidding. How many strokes?
I've got great news. You no longer need psychiatric...
Take 3.
I've got great news. You no longer need psychiatric treatment.
Take 8.
Lenny, you're cured. You no longer need psychiatric treatment. You are no longer a kleptomaniac. Doctor, what if I have a...
Take 12.
I've got great news, Lenny. You're cured. You no longer need psychiatric treatment. You're no longer a kleptomaniac. Doctor, what if I have a relapse, huh? In that case, get me a colored TV, a stereo, a toaster.
Yeah, my uncle was killed by a weasel.
Killed by a weasel?
Uh-huh. A train was coming and...
He didn't hear the weasel. Here's to that old Tyrone horn eye.
Cruising the old neighborhood.
He would give a little curse.
And Gladys hit him with her purse.
And this is the oldies but goodies section. These were the oldies but
Good.
True. Another really moronic skit.
Take my wife, please.
How's about a little fun?
How old are you?
82.
You've already had it.
Fine. How much do I owe you?
Ok, yo tengo un chiste viejo, pero bueno también. Me preguntó un amigo que si sabía la diferencia entre una gringa y un avión. Le dije que no sabía, que nunca me había subido en un avión. Yo tengo un chiste viejo, pero bueno. Me preguntó un amigo que si sabía la diferencia entre una gringa y un avión. Y le dije que no sabía, que nunca me había subido en un avión.
every time something was boring, I'll drink to that and we would.
From Southampton to the ghettos.
Everybody ate walnut.
These were the oldies but goodies. These were the oldies but goody. These were the oldies but good.
Did you ever see one? What else would you call it?
You know, Frank, I don't think Shakespeare was such a big deal.
Why not?
All he did was take a bunch of quotations and string them up together.
How about that?
One thing's for sure, the car of tomorrow will have yesterday's parts. The only way to get the oil companies to develop solar energy is to let them own the sun.
Mr. Sinatra, I understand you're writing a new book. What will it be about?
About $12.95.
Mr. Sinatra, why did you finally decide to write an autobiography?
Because I got tired of supporting the entire industry.
The entire industry?
You see, writing fiction about me has kept more hacks in business than the entire city of New York.
Hey, kids. Think you'd like a little sniff? Well, think again.
In our quest to make this a more pleasant environment, we thought we'd like to make our politicians a little less boring. With LAVERNE's lively technique, we let them say whatever they want and then ask questions later. A press conference with Los Angeles Police Chief Ed Davis would go something like this.
Well, with your running around, Chief, making so many public speeches, when does the record actually indicate that you're working as the Chief of Police?
November of 1973, in May 1974.
What public office or offices do you really think you're best qualified to be holding?
Mayor, United States Senator, Governor, President.
As a law and order man, what do you think of former President Ford's pardon of Richard Nixon?
It's a clear-cut, obvious felony.
You've been in touch with Nixon's former staff and former cabinet members. What kind of work do you think they should be looking for now or getting into?
Producing and distributing pornographic materials.
Where is the censor?
How do you think that young adults who are single and healthy should get sexual release?
Bestiality, bondage.
What do you think of that?
You know, life is a pretty grim thing unless you have a little fun once in a while.
One final question. Do you believe in the Easter Bunny?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you very much, Chief, for taking this time out with us to have this Fractured News Conference.
Thank you, John Boy. We'll see you when you get out. And thank you, Chief Ed. You know, he didn't really say that, but if he did say that, not only would I vote for him, I'd dance with him.
You know, I read a fan magazine that says Chris Evert is going with Burt Reynolds. Now, there's a gorgeous hunk of macho.
So is Bert.
Hey, Frank. You're the best-looking man I've ever seen.
And you have 20/20 vision.
Oh, hi. I was just practicing my newest opera. You're probably wondering how a waiter such as myself learned how to compose opera. Well, as remarkable as this might seem, you probably have the same talent. The famous opera composers school would like to send you a free opera aptitude test. Here's a sample question. Since his death, Giuseppe Verdi has not composed an opera. True or false? Well, the answer was true, and if you got that one right, you may be on your way to immortality. Here's how our course works. Each month, we send you 7,000 notes. Such notes as A flat, G sharp, and you merely arrange them into an opera. Then you mail your opera to our office in Secaucus, New Jersey, where it'll be carefully graded by Jan Pierce or someone else. And remember our motto, anyone with $400 is a potential genius.
And now, opera lovers, here is Nancy Blyweiss and a laugh-in translation of that famous aria, Stardust.
Hello, mother dear. May I make it clear? My wedding night sure was a bust. Everything went wrong. Trouble all night long. My husband has got some crust.
Frank, is it true that you've had quite a few wives?
Yes.
Whose?
Our wedding night was hell when we checked in to our motel. Well, took his teeth out, took his hair off, dropped his skirt, put on my lace, tight gown.
Did you hear that, Anita?
I can dig it.
Called his mama, ha ha ha. Turn the lights out, ha ha ha
I saw those beautiful blue eyes, and I just followed my first instinct. They're right. You're a great kisser.
Your second instinct is right, too.
Hello, film fans! This is Milton Devine with What's Going Down in Tinseltown. I woke up this morning with an F on my lips for fainting, because Disney has done it again with their very first animated feature with an X rating. It's got some great new Disney songs. It's got Spin and Marty Go Steady, Snow White Digs Midgets, and Bambi's First Stag Movie. Well, I can't handle this. Now, it's got all your barn favorites in it. Pluto gives us a glimpse into the strange world of German shepherds. We see Pinocchio getting his nose into everybody's business, and Christopher Robin is a riot when he sings Someday My Prince Will Come. Well, I just can't handle it. Now, don't miss it, kiddies. Be sure to take Mom and Dad and know that I'm sending you kisses, fabulous, fabulous kisses.
Where is the censor?
Censor hell? Where's the sheriff?
Sheriff hell, where's Jilly?
Oh, tell him when he comes in.
I met the censor, and he's a turkey.
Render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. But Dean Martin is at the MGM Grand.
Welcome to the Burbank Disco Talk. Hit it, Tommy! Wayland, if Oral Roberts got his first name because he earns a living as a minister spreading the gospel, what would you call him if he were a proctologist? I don't know. What? A doctor.
Israel should give back occupied territories to Arabs when America gives back Massachusetts to Mohegans.
You can say what you want about Billy Carter. He doesn't wash his dirty laundry in public. He wears it.
Billy Carter doesn't drink beer all the time. Part of the time, he burps.
Billy Carter and his brother have different styles. When Billy talks, you don't always agree with him, but you know where he stands. When the president talks, you don't always know where he stands, but you agree with him.
My mother made me a heterosexual. If you send me the material, she'll make you one, too.
California. The sun tans your body and the air tans your lungs.
Last week, I was really ripped off. I sat on a tack in my doctor's waiting room, and he charged me $25 for acupuncture.
Do you know there's a new gas war going on between Doritos and Taco Bell?
Do you know what the big difference is between a United States Congressman and Marty Feldman? Well, at least Marty Feldman can look at you in one eye.
There's another meat shortage in this country. McDonald's is down to the last 5 pounds of hamburger. Just enough for another billion Big Macs.
You know, it's nice to get out like this occasionally. There aren't any more fun funerals.
How come wrong numbers are never busy?
Yo, you want to dispense with welfare? Incorporate the poor as a non-profit company like Lockheed. When the government gives money to a company, they don't call it welfare, or they call it a subsidy.
I wrote to President Carter and he answered me. I asked him why he's in favor of human rights. He said because animals can't vote.
Energy from the sun? Well, if you include the Father and the Holy Ghost. We've been saying that for years.
You know, things in Washington are really wacky, Wayland. The Equal Rights Amendment didn't pass through Congress, but Elizabeth Ray did.
Mr. Sinatra, can I just shake your hand?
Why not?
Oh, Marlene, sell my clothes. I'm going to heaven. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so happy to be here I could drop a log.
I could drop a log.
portion of Laugh-In has been brought to you by your Chrysler Plymouth dealers and Exxon.
That's our show for tonight.
We'll be back before you know it. We'd like to thank all of the guests on tonight's show. We'd also like to thank you for watching.
And we'd like to thank all the little people.
Watch your mouth. I'd just like to say goodnight to Forrest Tucker.
Good night,
Good night.
Say, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Why do they make the health warning on those cigarette billboards so small you can't read it?
What the eyes cannot see, the lungs cannot grieve over.
Hey, it does have a manly scent.
Honey.
What is it, darling?
Did you all hear that Billy Carter's been born again?
Yes, and they expect to get him out of his diapers any day now.
Panama wants a canal, let them do what we did. Find a foreign country and build one of their own.
Hey, Ben! Yo! Have you seen this new movie about a topless waitress that buys a trailer?
No, what's it called?
Two for the road.
My brother thinks he's Lake Erie, June.
Yeah, so why don't you take him to a shrink?
Are you kidding? We need the water!
Claire, why do so many judges blame hitchhiking for rape?
When did you last stop and pick up a judge?
Last Thursday.
Robin!
What is it, darling?
Did they convict Harry Reams?
No, he got a hung jury.
Wayland, did you know that Burt Reynolds was being fitted for a floor-length hairpiece over at MGM or somewhere for that new movie, Son of King Kong? No. Yes, they're expecting big things out of Burt these days.
Laugh-In is quite harmless, really. When they make a joke, it's a laugh. When Congress makes a joke, it's a law. And vice versa.
These days, you don't buy a congressman with cash. You put him on your gas credit card.
I'm really excited being on the same show with Frank Sinatra. I've been to every one of his fights.
Who asked you?
Who says Frank can't take a joke?
Sex and violence, violence and sex.
Good night. Bye-bye. Night, Rona, you.
And good night, anybody, from your announcer, Jack Harrell.
Hey, Jerry, this is Big Mama, the little chucker. I'll be right over, sweetheart. The rest of you stay cool, and we'll be right back real soon.
May the farce be with you.